What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underwater FlyZone. We can't even really begin today's episode without first mentioning the heartbreak that we feel for the event that happened in Texas this past week. I couldn't even understand what the families and the people involved in the situation are feeling right now, and there's a lot of heartbreak with it. This has been a crazy week. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm sure my guest here today, my brother Carson, can agree. It's one of the worst things I've ever heard happen, and
it's just an act of pure evil.
It's pure evil, and I don't know. There's really no words you can say, and there's a lot of people out there these days, the past couple of days, talking about different solutions. But I think the biggest solution is just the fact that we need a culture change. These guns that we have around, this equipment we have around has been around for the last 60 years, but you're just now seeing, there was a shooting out in Buffalo like 2 weeks ago. There's
same situation.
Shootings happening all the time. These guns have been around for years, and yeah, I agree. I see everybody talking about we need stricter gun laws and all this stuff. Facts. That will help, but I think it's a much, much bigger issue than just that. There's been a culture shift. There is just not good things being promoted, and I think it all starts with the parents. It all starts with the teachers. The kid that did the shooting, somebody failed him along the way. Somebody when he was growing up failed him. He never experienced love. He never experienced probably anything positive in his life, which eventually led him to do something so horrific. You're not born that evil. Something made him be that way. So I think it all starts with supporting people, having more love and less hate, more inclusion and positivity, and just less divisiveness and hatred. That's where it starts. It starts with how the kids are raised. And that's my opinion on the situation. And I think we all, we can't control how other people live their lives. All you can control is yourself. So just make sure, you control what you can't control, which is the people around you and yourself. Be a positive light, so we could see a better world and not have to talk about anything like this ever again. It's bound to happen again in the future, but taking steps forward. I agree. I put out on my story the other day, like, something about how we need to have God in the youth. God is being pushed away. Christ is being pushed away from the youth, but I think we really need to put it back in the youth. People need to know God from day one, and I think that'd go a long way. A lot of people were not happy that I said that, and I don't really talk much in these situations, but I just felt like it needed to be said. People got to be raised right, and everyone's saying, that's not gonna help. People are not happy, but it's the truth.
They're trying to end it where it's like it's happening. You're trying to stop it.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing with the guns. Yes, it would help, but this dude was willing to give up his life to do this act. He might not have died. He did die, but say he survived, he's not ever going to see the free world again. He's going to be locked up and beaten for the rest of his life. He was willing to give everything for this. So do you really think that making it harder for him to get a gun is going to change the fact that he's not going to be able to get it? Heroin's illegal, but people are still getting it. Drugs are illegal, people are still getting it. There's a lot of things that are illegal that are still happening. It's not like making the guns illegal are just going to, yeah, I'm good now.
Instead of trying to stop it with the availability of guns and getting them, we should stop it with people even wanting to do it in the first place.
Exactly. We got to just love more. That is ultimately...
More love, less hate.
More love, less hate. Love is what's going to stop stuff like this. If he didn't have a gun, he would have went in there with a knife. If he didn't have a knife, he would have went in there with a rock and freaking threw it. He will find a way. This dude was willing to give everything up for this. So it all just starts, like, how did he even get to that spot in the first place? How does a person even desire to want to do that? Who wants to be known for that? Apparently this guy.
Yeah.
Let's start earlier. Let's make sure he never gets to that point. But anyways, let's get into the episode here today. I got my brother on as my guest, Carson Huggins, up in here today.
What's up, everybody? We got on the episode finally, season 3. Supposed to be episode 3. We won't talk about that one. But
so supposed to be episode 3 of season 1.
And here we are.
I told him, I said, I'll get you on in season 1. It didn't happen. I got you in season 2. It didn't happen. But hey, I told you it was gonna happen.
That's all that matters.
You're here now, and you're hearing the upbringing of this podcast. Yeah. You probably, it's not even worth getting on back in the old days. We're getting a lot better with it here. A lot more official.
All sorts of change happened in the past few months.
Elevation, baby. But anyways, yeah, this is my brother. We got him on here today, and This is the 7th episode, Kayli's 7th episode here today. Obviously, with the mental health season, I shared my story with the Kyle situation. Me, Carson, and Kyle, we were the trio, FCK Productions, you know?
Yep, it was all back since, kindergarten for me, 2nd grade for Foster. That's when, not FCK, but that's when the trio kind of formed.
FCK Production is just a wiffle ball.
That's a wiffle ball term. It was our little, I don't even know. It was just our trio,
it was funny.
Abbreviation.
It was funny.
But yeah, it all starts back in the kindergarten days for me.
Red backpack.
Jumping over seats. I'm not going to go too much into it because you did.
I did. I went way into it on episode 1.
All I'm saying is we saw a kid jumping over seats, and he ended up sitting next to us. I was like, that kid has the same backpack as us.
Was I right that he sat next to us because the bus driver was like, "You need to stay in your seat"?
I don't know.
It just happened.
I don't know if it was that or if he just was tired of it. I knew he got yelled at. I don't know if he made him stay in that seat though.
Yeah, he definitely got yelled at.
But yeah, he was getting yelled at. He sat next to us. It was pretty dope. We talked to him for a little bit. Found out we were kind of family friends the next few years. Everything got so easy for us to always hang out, which we did. We'd hang out. I felt like, towards the end of his life, I felt like we were hanging out every single day.
For sure.
There was no breaks. Like that one spring break, it was either 2017 or 2016. He didn't go home. It was a week. It was Friday night through that week until that Sunday. And I think he came over on the Friday and left on the Sunday.
And we were probably just doing Hot Wheels.
I mean, if you guys are watching the video, just right back behind us, we were playing Hot Wheels and basement blitzball and hockey. And
Mom and Dad would always go to bed at 2 a.m.
And they would, okay, our ceiling's in here like really thin. You could hear everything from upstairs.
Exactly.
So we would be yelling at Hot Wheels, and they would be like, they wouldn't understand why we're that hype over some Hot Wheels. But I swear, but we were hanging out every single day. It was getting good, and we obviously it was like the only thing me and Foster knew at that point. I mean, 2nd grade best friend till sophomore year. For me, it was kindergarten best friend till 8th grade. Yeah. We didn't know anything else as friends like that. Like that was like brotherhood to us, basically.
Yeah, we definitely considered him our 3rd brother, and there's other people that we also somewhat consider a 3rd brother today, but
it's not. I don't know.
It's never gonna be the same.
It's not how that was because at the time it was all I knew. Like it literally felt like he could have been our brother, just born like either a year earlier, or a year later. Like
it was that close. The only difference is we wouldn't fight with him like me and you fight.
No, the thing me and Kyle would have some fights, but it'd be like really small. Last 10 minutes, and then
I don't think I ever fought with him. He got mad at me like one time at wiffle ball, but
it's just because I was so competitive. That's why I learned. But yeah. So we get into that. Wiffle ball starts up. We're always hanging out then and Kyle wanted to be the best. He was the best at the time. He was the best wiffle ball thrower.
Especially that
spring training, he went crazy.
He passed away right after spring training and right before opening day.
And we were saying MVP for sure. There was no doubt in my mind that he was winning MVP that year.
For sure. I mean, literally, no doubt.
Yeah, that was I just felt like everything up to that until that point was kind of just bringing us all closer and closer and closer, which is why April 22nd of that year when we hung out with him for the last time, everything felt so normal. Like he came over, we fished, we played football, we played baseball, we ate pizza. Like, what did we not do that day? I feel like we literally did everything.
It was weird because it was almost, thinking back to it, it's almost like a movie. It was almost like
that is what the send-off should be.
It was, if I could have if I would have known that was the last day, I wouldn't have made it any different.
I wouldn't have made it different, but I was,
I wish he didn't leave. I still wish he didn't leave his fishing stuff in my car, though. I'll never get over that.
That's so funny.
I will never get over that.
Yeah.
I hate when people leave stuff in my car. So I was
I
man.
Too. You don't even, you're lucky you knew who it is. You hate when people leave stuff in your car and you have no clue whose stuff it is.
Oh yeah,
that sucks.
Facts.
Okay.
Anyway,
so,
but that was like if you could have chose a great last day, that was it.
Yeah,
we did everything we normally
and it was
did.
early. He came over early. He left late, and it was great. And you guys probably seen the picture. The last picture I have of him, we were setting fidget spinners on top of each other, and I think he just put the last bottle on.
It was like a water bottle. No, it was like fidget spinner, upside down water bottle.
Where I set up water bottle, then one more. And
then,
I think I had him all. I think I just got done putting the top one on. He was taking a picture. I took a picture of him. Oh, my bad, Mike. And I took a picture, and that was the last picture I think I got him. And then
that was.
Oh, also we used to play. I'm pretty sure that night when he went home, we played like Clash Royale or something. everything was like so. That day was great.
Y'all were into Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash was fire too.
Yeah.
But moving on. Then that night he was on the roof. I remember I slid up on his story and I was like, and this is like the last time I really talked to him because then on April 23rd, earlier in the day, I texted him because Foster kept nagging him about his walk-up song, and I texted him. I said, Kyle, you need to tell me your walk-up song before Foster actually gets mad about this.
He told me that night though. That was one of the last conversations.
Okay,
I
think that might have been April 22nd, and I texted that, and he said, "Congratulations." I said, "All right," and I just kept, that's the I still have that text on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because April 23rd.
That video of him on the roof's crazy because that was right after he left our house, and he was chilling on his roof at like midnight or something.
Midnight, 1 o'clock.
And Carson like swiped up on
and
him.
I was like, "Dude, what are you doing right now?" And because I was a kid, I didn't even know like that.
Yeah.
But
April 23rd.
April 23rd, we were on the boat. I'm pretty sure it was like we were trying to fish for 30 fish because Ace 30 or something.
Ace 30, yeah, and we got 29.
And we got 29, yeah. And then I remember, I think we might have asked Kyle to come out on the boat with us.
We were gonna play wiffle ball that day.
Oh, that's what it was.
And,
then
we canceled. And then I think Mom and Dad just wanted to be us four or something.
Yeah.
So it was just us four.
So then that happened.
Or I don't remember. I don't remember how it went. We went on the lake.
Yeah, and he wasn't there, but we were planning on hanging out with him. And then we went in. Nothing was odd. I mean, I kind of just took it as any other Sunday before, like map testing. So I was like, oh man, this sucks. And Mom made me go to bed so early, so I had to go to bed. Wake up the next morning. See, Snapchat wasn't a big deal to me at the time, so I wasn't like, oh, Kyle didn't Snapchat me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't really understand it, like, at that point. I got on the bus. I remember when we passed Kyle Stop and he wasn't on the bus, I was like, damn. Like, this is going to be the worst day of school ever.
So
like,
he wasn't on the bus.
At the time, I remember I turned to somebody on the bus and I said, damn, Kyle's not here. This is going to suck.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was literally 8th grade. I hated more than the map test. And I was like, dude, really?
Map test.
And then Kyle was on the bus.
Something. It's
Missouri in placement.
It's a horrible test.
But it is long. It sucks. So I was sitting there, and I just remember I was like, dude, I'm map testing. Dude, Kyle's not, like, what is this day?
This is gonna suck.
And I was just like, dude, what? And I walk into school, and I forgot this part, but I remember it was either today, like that day, or the next day I saw Conlon. But no, Conlon didn't go that day.
Was not
he did
there
not go that day. So, okay, so I didn't see Conlon either. So I was like, okay, so Conlon's not here. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, like,
Kyle's not here, Conlon's
I wasn't
not here.
thinking, I was never, in my mind at the time, suicide wasn't a thing to me at all.
And so, by the way, Conlon is Kyle's stepbrother,
yeah.
just for anyone that didn't know.
And so I kind of thought they went out of town. He didn't tell me. Just something like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I went to class, took the worst test of my life. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And then I go into science, which is my second class, and it's whatever. I mean, the whole day, like, looking back on the whole day it just felt so bummy. Like, the whole day sucked. Because then I was going to my third class. I remember this very well. I walked out of my science class, or maybe it was PE, just one of the two. I walked down to my history class, which was at the end of the, 8D or whatever. And I'm about to go into class, but first I was getting my locker. This is in the morning, probably like 9, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm going to my locker to get one of my things, so I think we had, like, I remember I left, like, an assignment, and I was like, oh, I gotta go get that.
Yeah.
This kid, I'm not gonna say his name, because it makes me mad. Kid walks up to me, out of my locker, and he comes up, and he, like, puts his hand on my back. He's like, how you doing, bro? I was like, good. He's like, you heard what happened to Kyle? I said, bro, what are you talking about? And he said, well, Kyle killed himself last night or something. And I was like, I literally, okay, sorry to mom, dad, and I said, bro, shut the F up, leave me alone. Because I couldn't believe him, but like at the time I was like, dude, just don't joke about that.
I'm
like,
borderline like,
yeah, I literally was just in a bad mood because, you know, I don't think you understand how big of a deal it was in 8th grade when your friends aren't at school. Like, it was bad. Yeah. So I was just having the worst day ever. I just took the map test, and it was just like, dude, why would you just try to ruin my mood?
Why are you joking about it? Why are you even joking about it?
I didn't believe it whatsoever. And then I walk into Harrison's class, which was my history class, which was that block. And I'm sitting there, and I'm by myself at this table, I think. Maybe a few other people around me. And I remember he gets the call, and he picks up the phone, and he looks at me, and he puts it down. Because I'm pretty sure the teachers were finding out.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, and he's like, hey, Huggins, you're free to go. And I was like, oh, bet. You know, like, holy
Was your
shit.
first thought?
No, I was like, bet. And then, like, I picked up my bag, and I'm like, okay, this is lit. Like, this is dope. And
I thought
this
the
is
same thing.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this shit's lit. And
You're fine.
Okay. I'm walking out. I'm walking. I'm like, oh, so free day out. I don't know what we're gonna do, but if not, we could go play football with Kyle or play basketball with Jackson. And I was like, oh wait, Kyle wasn't at school. And then I started walking in the hall. I was like, wait, like Kyle's not at school. I'm getting called out of school. This kid just told me the worst news ever. And as I'm walking down at my hall, it was okay. East Middle School's hall. It was long. Because if you walked out of the door I was in, you walk all the way down the other side of the building. So it was a straight walk. So I'm just walk down the stairs. I'm like, okay, let's just chill out real quick. Let's just not worry about anything. And I was walking. I was like, okay, we're doing good. Like, let's just have fun today. I'm getting called out of school early.
So it was a crappy day of school.
So it was a crappy day of school. I heard that. I'm getting called out. And I'm like, yes. But then I'm like, wait. Like
wait
it's in the
a
back
second.
So then I'm walking out. And I finally got my mind kind of like, okay, nothing bad is going on. Because I was good at that back then.
Yeah.
And then right in the East Middle School, the office is here. I'm going to give it for the camera right here. Office is here. You walk down this hallway and you turn to the office. It's all glass.
It's all glass.
So I walk up and I turn and I just see my mom and my dad in the office. And then I was like, yeah, shit's bad. Like, I was like, this is not going to turn out good. So I go out and then the I think her name was like Miss Redwing or something, was like, have a good day, honey. Like, so like
she knew what was coming.
Everyone knew at the point. So I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna suck. So I walked out and then like I'm about to get in the car and I was like, I turned to mom and dad. I said, is it real? And then they said, yeah. And then because mom went to the other side to get in the back with me, and I was just like totally just like in shock. I was like,
did you even cry?
Oh, I was bawling.
Okay, I was gonna say.
And I was sitting there. I was like, cause I sat there for a second. And I was like, how? Like, what even does that mean? Like,
what even is suicide?
Literally.
Like,
I was like, what does even that mean? And I kind of just sitting there, I was like, yeah, this sucks. Like, everything
you were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You didn't know what.
I didn't know what was going on. I was crying because
you felt like you should.
Yeah,
you didn't know what was
I didn't know
really
what to do other than that, because it's not even that, like, at the time I didn't really believe it. All I knew was he wasn't at school and that's what I heard. I didn't, like, even when mom and dad told me, I didn't believe it, truthfully. Yeah. I was just like, okay, if it's true, I needed to cry, because, like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
I cried, and we came to get you and got you out of school.
How was that? How was the drive there? Like, were you thinking, like, oh, gosh, Foster's, like, sitting there minding his own
I was like,
business?
the same thing is about to happen to him right now. Like, he's about to get out of school, he's going to be like, yes, and he's going to realize, like...
Yeah.
The only difference between me and what happened to me and you is someone told me before, so you had no reason to think anything bad until Chrissy.
Every time I got called out of school, though, I'd always in the back of my head be like, why am I getting called out?
Yeah.
It's kind of... you have that,
unless
like,
I knew there was
fear.
a dentist appointment or something. Like, then I was kind of like, why am I getting called out? But it was never, like, a bad thing. Like, you never thought of it as really bad.
Yeah.
So then... Yeah, we came and got you, and you wanted to drive home, and I was like, damn, he's dealing with this pretty well. And
I didn't cry.
I know, because you actually,
I was in so much shock that I was like, okay, I don't even... It was like straight denial. It was like, yeah, whatever, I'll believe it when I see it. But but you still like, no, it's real. It's undescribable.
There's like,
you can't
in the back of your mind, but you don't want to know.
I can't sit here and tell y'all what I was feeling in that moment, because there's no words... There's no words out there that can literally, like, describe that emotion. That's not a real... That's just an emotion that you can't even speak about, because it's not...
It's not an emotion. There's no such thing.
You don't know what...
So, after that, we go back to my house, and we're chilling. I'm pretty sure Jackson got called out of school at that point.
Jackson was our other friend, lived up the street. I talked about him in my episode. Shout out Jackson, bro.
Yeah, for real. We were chilling. I remember sitting in our office or something. That was the Zen or something at the time. We were sitting there, and I was just... texting Jackson and someone else, and I was like, what do you guys even think of this right now? Like, what are you guys even thinking right now? Because I remember no one knew what to think, really.
No.
It was kind of just like, like you said, it's the most undescribable feelings. So there's no reason for you to try to explain it. So it's like, it was like, we were all texting each other. We had no clue what to do. I'm pretty sure we went and played basketball with Jackson for a little bit. And that was really sad.
And I don't know if you remember this, but our Raintree Wiffle Ball group chat, I think I said, hey guys, I just want to let everybody know, because we were not like...
Wait, are you sure? Because I thought someone said, like, just the first thing that was said was like, is this real? Like, someone asked
Someone might have said...
I think it was Jack
I think
Fields.
someone said that. Jack Fields said that, and then I... Like,
yeah, you came in, and then Zayden said, oh, yeah, because everyone was saying no, and then, like, he fucking did it.
Yeah, well, first, our Wiffle Ball League now is, like, a literal family, like...
Yeah.
Like, those are my literal brothers. But
it back then it was still a little bit, but not like this.
It was still like, that's the team I'm competing against. Now it's like, yeah, that's the team
Those
I'm
are my
competing against,
guys.
but those are my brothers, you know?
literally.
But back then it was like, it wasn't as tight as we are now. So it was like, someone said, "Is this real?" So
Yeah.
I came in and typed out a message like, "Hey guys, like Kyle's gone, like it really happened, like yeah." And
Yeah.
then,
But
but you got to remember, these kids are like,
they're young. These are young
kids are like 11.
They
like
don't know
10,
what's
11.
going on. So a lot of the kids were like, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
No,
there's a
that's not
few.
true."
There was like 5 kids that were my age. There were like 5 kids that were Carson's
Right,
age,
and then
there was like 10 kids
So at
that
my
were
freshman
like
year, so there was a bunch of 6th graders, a lot of 6th graders.
6th graders, 5th
So they
graders
were
in this
all
group chat.
like,
they were
they
all
had
like,
no
"It's
clue what to
not
think."
real. It's not. There's no." And then this dude that is
Zayden.
Zane. No, it was Zane Lady.
Oh yeah, it was Zane.
Zane Lady. Shout out Zane Lady. He's another guy that's
dope.
one of our brothers. Zane Lady comes in and says he's effing dead.
Yeah, because
like he was getting mad that all these kids were like
because
freaking out.
they have to understand. Like, you have to just know, because denying it's not going to get you anywhere in that situation. It's
Yeah,
just
it
gonna
was
make
it was dude. It was the emotions that were going. Everyone took it differently. You know,
Yeah.
some people were mad, some people were just confused, and some people were like 10 years old, so they didn't even know what
they
the
didn't
heck
know
to
what
think.
happened to them.
I mean, we didn't
but-
know what to think.
Literally.
But
So moving on
anyway,
from
continue
that, it's
on.
like, that was a just terrible day overall. You know.
in that first week.
And then that first week came along. I remember I went to school because my mom made me go for the map test. I left right after it was done. I went into first class, and people like me and Foster both had the same situation. Like, it happened, and we were both like,
Did you go to the next day? You went just for the test?
for the first test.
Okay.
So just walking into school the next day, I'm pretty sure Colin was there that time. I just felt like there was just like I felt like I was literally in a spotlight, and everyone just was. When I walked in the room, everyone looked at me. No one said anything, but everyone just knew. You know?
Yeah.
Like, everyone knew that, like, if I was like, okay,
They're
if
all like,
if
what's-
someone was in class and started crying for no reason, you'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird. If I did, everyone would be like, okay, that makes total sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just felt like everyone was waiting for something like
Everyone was just waiting to see how you would move,
Yeah.
and it was kind of, and I didn't because I'm in I was in high school, and Kyle was in 8th grade, so he was in middle school still. So not a lot of people knew
Yeah.
that I was that close with him, so I didn't experience this as much. But I can relate. Like, the people that did know, they were like
They
just
just don't
looking
know what
at
to do.
you.
You don't-
Yeah.
And the thing is, I also, like, bringing it back to it, we were young. No one knew what to do about that. No one knew what
Yeah.
to say to me. Like, that doesn't make it. Who would, you know?
yeah, exactly.
So I would go in there, I take my test, and I have to go to my next class because my mom didn't get to school fast enough. And I told my teacher, which was Mr. Fry, Ray Peck people, you probably had him in 8th grade. You might have had him in high school. He's dope. I walked
Yeah.
up to him, and I was like, dude, I got to go to the hallway. I got to call my mom. I got to get this taken care of. And he was the most supportive teacher I had about it.
yeah.
So I go to the hallway, I call him, or I call mom, and she comes back and gets me, so it was all good. And then, so that's all for that day. That really has no significance at all.
We played a lot of Wii that week.
Yeah. Bring it to Wednesday. I think I did the same thing. I left early. All I know is Thursday was the big day. I had to go the whole day because my mom and dad were making me go the whole day. So I had to go into.
They would have let us skip.
Yeah.
They weren't like saying you have to go,
But like they wanted,
to, like,
they wanted
challenge-
me to go in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they were not good. They were not going to make me, but they wanted me to go. So
Our parents are great.
yeah, they were really good with this. But
Yeah.
so I went in, which me going the whole day, which meant I had to go to fax class, which me and Kyle had together. So I walk in that class, and I walk in, and you look around and you see an empty seat that, like, it's whatever, but you see an empty seat that someone used to sit in that literally can't anymore. It's like a whole different feeling. Like, seeing
Yeah.
it, and it was just like, I walked in, I sat down, I looked over there, and I immediately left. Like, I left the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, because that's when I was just like, okay, this is so much more than just like
A school day.
this is so much more than just a little pain from
Yeah.
everything in my life is changing now. Because
Yeah.
like it was like, okay, he's gone, and now it's like, okay, that's his chair. Like, it's just like everything's gonna get so sad. It was just like, at this point was the point I finally realized, like, okay, this might be depression. Like, this is bad.
Like, this is
like, this is not good. So then I tried to go back, and the even worse happened. They called me into the office, and I was like, okay, what now?
Oh yeah.
Like, what now?
I think
And
I know what you're talking about.
so I walk in the office. They send me to a back room, and I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like, did someone report me or something? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
To make the matters even worse. So I go in there. There's, I think, maybe not the principal, one of the principal people, like the vice principal, whatever they
Yeah.
are. One of them was there, the secretary was there, and they had this box. They just had this box, a big box, probably like this big for y'all
They
watching.
should have never done this. Man.
This big. And I said, hey, this is all the stuff. This is all Kyle's stuff and all of your stuff. You guys both made in fax class because we were partners. So I got this box full of stuff that we had done. And I'm just sitting there like, thank you, but why? Like, why did you just hand me this?
It goes back to the people don't understand what you're going through.
And I'm young, bro.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people look up to adults and think they know so much more than us. There's some things that adults
They don't
like.
understand.
Just because you have age doesn't mean that you know what you're like.
Literally.
No one understood.
These
people didn't understand that you can't do that,
Yeah,
bro.
no, not right now. Maybe in a month.
It's
or two,
been
but
2 days.
It was
it's
3
been
days.
3 days. Like,
so
you can't do that.
I take this box. I'm crying. I'm like, okay, can I just look through it? I guess you're going to hand me it. So I start looking through it. Pillowcases, all these like things we made, papers or whatever. You know, just stuff in there that would be like something you wanted to keep.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there like, okay, can you guys call my mom and tell her to come get me? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, you guys are great. And so I leave school.
Bro.
No, and literally, I told them, I said, can you guys please call my mom and say I'm going home? And then they said, yeah. So I left. And
what are they think? I just
know.
can't get over that. Hey, no hate.
No, I
here's
get
the
it, though.
thing.
They don't understand.
They don't understand, so you can't be mad. But
I
it's
didn't
like, bro,
understand.
what? Come on.
I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But moving forward, Friday was not really a big deal. I went the whole day. I did
That
it.
was the night of his visitation.
But that was his visitation. So we go to visitation, and I feel like I was still in so much shock because I didn't cry when we went in there. I was chilling. Everything was fine. We went to see Pete even, and like
Pete's
that
his
was the
dad.
saddest thing. But like I still didn't cry. And I was just chilling. I was walking around, and I was just holding myself together really well because I was still just like in the whole like. I don't know how I can possibly be seeing my 8th grade best friend in a casket, right? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be real.
And it was closed.
It was closed, but like, you know
So-
what I'm saying? Like, seeing the casket that you know he's in.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm holding it together perfectly fine, and then our friend Luke Long
Oh,
walks
man.
up to us,
Luke.
and me and Luke, you know, we'd always kind of butt heads a little bit.
And
Not
Luke's
like-
Luke was our boy that lived like 2 doors up that came and he was hanging with us on the last day we saw Kyle.
And
too.
he's such a real dude, but he also like he doesn't really show that much emotion.
That dude,
So it,
Carson and him always kind of
he
argued.
he would want to be, you know, oh, tough. So it's like I saw Luke, and he came over.
Luke is a type of guy that's a tough guy.
Yeah,
Like you
he
don't
doesn't break.
debate with
He
him.
doesn't break.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't break.
I walk up to him. He walks up to me. He shakes my hand, and he just looks like he shakes my hand. Then we look up at each other, and it was just like I have never felt so sad. Like that just kind of put it to me that like even Luke is sitting here crying like this. Like I was
Luke
like,
is hard as a rock, bro. Like that dude, I'm telling you, he
doesn't break
he doesn't
like that.
show emotion like that. And Luke, I remember that moment because I felt the same. It's like,
Yeah.
my. And then
You
also
understand.
at graduation, whenever they had Kyle's
Oh, yeah, that
chair
was big,
sitting there,
too. That was
they had
big.
Kyle's chair
I was
sitting
gonna bring
there.
that up later too.
And Carson was like, Carson
chilling,
Carson
dude.
just graduated, so he was chilling.
It's
But
every
Luke-
time. It's just Luke.
Bro,
Long, dude.
Luke walks up.
And then I
Oh.
see. I was chilling. I was like, okay,
I
this
was
is
chilling
sad.
too. I wasn't even and Luke walks up
And then we
just
start crying,
Dude,
like,
I'm
bad.
talking like I'm on the football field where graduation was happening, and I was crying like I was alone in my room.
Literally,
because of this
it was
dude,
bad.
Luke, bro.
Luke, thank you for making us cry so bad.
Hey, it feels good. And I love
does.
Luke. Shout out to Luke. Luke
Literally.
is our guy. But anyways,
Yeah, so the visitation. That's the time I cried. But obviously at the funeral I did because we had to carry the thing. It's like that was the last bit of it. Like we had to carry the casket out, which was bittersweet. Like it's like okay, you want to be that guy, but you don't want to do that at all.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, that sucks. But moving forward, we finally get it done. They're like the thing's about to end. It does like at the gravesite. So everyone's leaving the gravesite.
and the gravesite was pouring down
was
rain
packed, it was
like someone
pouring.
dumped a bucket
It
from the
literally
heavens.
was like the worst day ever. So I was sitting there. I remember right before I left though, I walked up, I stood next to the casket. I was kind of standing there for a second, and kind of just hit me. Like as I was standing there, I was like, okay, nothing I do in this life is for me anymore. Like I'm not living this life for just myself anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just struck me. I told him that. I said, I'm living this life for us both now. Like this is not my own life anymore. This is for me and you. Like this is dedicated.
Yeah.
Because I have to live, like, it's in a song. I have to live for the things he never saw. Like, I have to see that. I have to do things for him. I have to see things that he can't.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
that's why I feel like my spot is in that.
And I feel the same in a way,
Yeah,
I think we both kind of were like, all right, there's more to life than just myself now, But
that's
anyways,
where the story starts and is big. But there's more.
there's more to the story.
So that's where it's big. obviously my best friend. But
For me, that was probably as big as it got.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all heard my story, but
mine doesn't get much. Like, mine doesn't get terrible. I can't say it got terrible because I wasn't like that. But, you know. So, I'm going into freshman year. Just lost my best friend. Summer's fine, whatever. But you go in, and I was the type of kid, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, it's hard to describe how it was, but I was just socially so messed up after that. Because I didn't even want to talk to people. So I'd be the type of kid, headphones on, hoods up.
Yeah, that was me too.
I wasn't about to sit here and talk to people. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stay in my own world, recover, and then maybe have friends again. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I knew Connor. Connor was a good friend, and so was Kevin. Kevin and me, Connor, we were all close. That was cool.
Yeah.
So we were dope. I was talking to some people, but, you know, around, I'd say, like, October is when I actually started talking to people, like, seriously again. Because up until October, I didn't act like anything was wrong with me. I tried to act normal. Like, I tried to act like nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
But whenever October came, I'd start actually telling people who actually seemed like they cared. So, one of the people that actually asked me was Lance Hayes. One time we were in Spanish, I remember I was having a really bad day with it. I think it was, like, at a time, what was it? Probably 6 months. Like, 6 months of him being gone.
Yeah.
So, I seemed really upset, and I remember Lance had asked me, and I had him on Snap, and he texted me later that day about it as well. So I was kind of just talking to him about it in general, like, that's how I'm feeling, you know, like, it sucks. Yeah. He was showing me, like, he genuinely cared about it, so I was like, okay, this is dope, you know. Yeah. And as time went on, I had to talk to him occasionally. It's kind of just like, the reason this is big for me is because I was a decent friend. Like, now I wouldn't say I was a great friend of his, and that's just wrong of me to say.
Yeah.
Should we fix that?
No, you're good.
Like, that's wrong of me to say because I know how that felt whenever I was, you know,
yeah,
like in my situation. Because I can't say I was close to him.
You can't say he was one of your best friends.
But he was one of those friends I knew I could talk to, you know, because I did. So
he was like a real one from a distance.
Yeah, you know? Literally. Because I wouldn't hang out with him, but like when we were at school, like we'd talk all the time. So it's like I talked to him about it. And then it's like, you know, April comes around. We're still close. We played Fortnite, whatever. So it's like.
He was beast at Fortnite.
Oh my gosh, dude! One time Foster came down, the kid had 19 kills. We had the rest of the squad combined had 3.
It was crazy. Anyway,
the kid was crazy. So we were playing Fortnite. We were talking at school, and it's kind of like, you know, we weren't talking as much about the Kyle situation anymore because, you know, it was going on past. We've already talked a lot about it.
Yeah.
So it got to about, you know, a week until Kyle had been 1 year ago. So
it was a couple days before.
We had no school on. It was Friday. So it was
we had school on that Friday.
I wasn't there for some reason. I wasn't there Thursday or Friday at school. I remember that Wednesday I had a tennis tournament at the plaza, and it was our hour and a half long Spanish class. And then I remember I just told them all, I was like, I'll see you later. And I remember dapped up Lance. I didn't even dap up any other ones. I dapped up Lance. I walked out. I had a tennis tournament, so I left and went to my tennis tournament. Wasn't there Thursday, wasn't there Friday, so I didn't get to see it. But whenever Lance, this is what they've told me, whenever he left the class, like Spanish for the last time, they said he gave everyone hugs and, like, told them see him next week or whatever, you know? Like, nothing to be worried about, but, you know, like...
It's just kind of different.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wish I was there, bro. Yeah. But I wasn't, because something was going on.
And this is the same Lance that is the Houston's cousin that we had on episode 2. This is the same situation.
They didn't tell me that until afterward, because no one thought of anything bad. But then that Saturday morning or Sunday morning, I forgot which one it was, I remember me and Foster walked to the kitchen, and our parents walk in with tears in their eyes, and I'm like, okay, not this again.
No,
dude.
I think Mom walked in with looked like she was been like bawling.
Like, I didn't want to say she was bawling.
No.
Yeah, like she obviously was crying.
And you just knew right away, you're like,
another one of these.
Happened?
Yeah, so and they told us.
My thoughts were, it was a family member.
Yeah,
honestly,
honestly, that's what
I was like, man, what? And this is 2 days.
Yeah,
two
days before.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, really? Like, what happened? They tell us.
This is 2 days before the Kyle 1 year anniversary.
And I got hit with it, like, dude, again, like, my grade, my friends, like, okay. Like,
she told us that Lance
died.
Went out the same way Kyle did.
And we were I just remember sitting there, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to my room. And I went up to my room. I think I played Fortnite, I played some music. I tried not to let it affect me.
We both went on a bike ride too. We went different. Like you went one way, I went the other, and we rode around. But then we we met past each other. Yeah, and we just stopped and talked for a minute.
Went for a bike ride. I would sit in my room, kind of just did things to take my mind away, kind of. So I did. It never got, I couldn't say it got as hard, but I remember when we went to that funeral. It was sad.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I talked to Lance one time in my whole life, and I think it was on Fortnite when you let me have the remote for 10 seconds. I think I talked.
Too good.
Yeah.
So I just remember I went to that funeral and it was.
But that so funeral, sad, I remember bawling there too because it was just like looking at people and in my head I'm like, I've just been through this for a year and now I'm looking at people that this is the start of their journey.
It was so much for me because it was like he was my friend, and then I see all of my other friends that were his best friend this sad, and I was like, that's how I was a year ago right now. Like I just remember like I'm looking at my friends losing a best friend. And I was like, it's like, dude.
And you know
what has to happen now.
You know what's happening in their heads right now, and you know what's going to be happening forever.
It's like, what can you really do, though, right then? You know, because, like, I can't go be like, hey, I can teach you guys, I can show you the way through. Like, cause I can't, you know? Like, I understand what they're going through, but you can't really, I can't be like, oh, I'm just going to show you the way through this. Because you can't really do that. Everyone takes it different. Yeah. So that was a big hit.
But it definitely brought us closer. Like with them, for sure.
Brought us closer with everybody, I feel like. Because it made a bond that no one wants, but like there is one. Like I mean, there's a similarity now. Like you both had someone that close. So up until that point, one year comes around, and it was like I still really never thought of it as anything positive because it's not. You know, like it's a bad thing.
You just talking about the 1 year for Kyle?
Yeah.
Like 2 days later.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and it's like that. It's just like so demoralizing. It's like to know that happened. So there's thoughts where it's like, okay, I could have done more maybe, and then there's thoughts like, okay, well. It's I can't believe you did that. And it's like, you know, like it's like there's so many different thoughts happen, but eventually you come to just one thought. Like whenever it hit 1 year, I'm like, okay, I can't be mad, I can't be sad. Let's motivate. Like let's get motivation from this because you can sit in a hole for so long, and you never have you can have an excuse to stay there. I could have stayed there till now and been like,
and people would have validated it. They'd have been like, man, he lost his best friend. But you could be so much more.
You don't want to be there. You're like. There's more to it than just like, oh, you know, people are gonna help you, and it's like, yeah, whatever. You get people to help you, like
like you can use it.
You can use it for your best
excuse, because you can use it to motivate as well.
Literally, like you can use it as an excuse and have people, you know, feel for you and be sad and you know all of that stuff. But then it's like, when can you get out of that? Like when can you get more than that? Like that's what I was thinking. When it hit like 1.5 years. I remember I was like, okay, I can't just keep being so sad about it. I can't just sit here and be like, okay, this is going to be my excuse to have a terrible life. Like, I was like, I can't do that to myself.
Yeah, and you go back to that moment at the grave almost, and you're like...
It's like, why would he want me to be doing this right now? Like, would he want this to happen? So I was sitting there, and I was like, you know what? Like, it's sad. It's sad, really bad, but it's nothing I can't change. It's something I can't turn around and make a motivation to me. So I was in a rough situation where I was like, okay, well, it needs to happen, but you know, it's still early on. I started realizing that a lot had come out of it. Like, personally for me, ever since that happened, I've just totally had such bad like mental problems, like with like overthinking and huge anxiety and all that stuff. Like, it's all been bad ever since. I never had that before. Like, it never happened. Like, I think that's really what set it off. That's what my therapist told me. Shout out Nina. But
shout out Nina.
But I was I think it's all stems from that. I was really low, and it like all that stuff started happening, and it continues to happen with random stuff. Just like it shows the effects of it, the long term effects of it. But I started just like trying to find ways to let it be motivating. So I'd turn to music. I'd turn to. And that's where X came in, too. Like, X was huge.
Man, people don't understand.
You don't understand how much music can help you through a situation.
Yeah, and a lot of people with X, like, you can't understand how much people don't really realize why I love him so much. Dude, he literally,
he helped you out, dude. Like, that helped me out so much.
Man, because you feel alone whenever you have these emotions, but whenever you have a like, famous rapper or famous musician telling you, saying exactly how you feel.
He wasn't just a musician. Like, he would do those vlogs and stuff, and, like, you would hear him talk in motivation.
Yeah, he'd do, like, gaming videos.
You know, and that's what I put on here on one of my notes. There's a song... You guys probably know it. It's called Rebirth. It's 2016.
I doubt it.
But I didn't listen to it until like because that album didn't come out until 2019 or 2020. I didn't hear that song for a while, and when I heard that song for the first time, it's not even a song. It's the end of the album. It's a beat that has like a piano, and it's him talking the whole time. But like, it has some serious like there are some serious things. If you listen to that song, it's like you feel different. When I heard that song
Yeah.
for the first time, that's whenever I took it. Like I told you, a year and a half into it, I was trying to change into being me motivation instead of be sad.
Yeah.
After I heard that song, it turned into completely like I'm not gonna be sad anymore. Like this is
Yeah.
all motivation because there's exceptions obviously because you can't just go your whole life with never being sad about it again.
Yeah.
But
obviously,
it's changed because if I want you guys after this, if you want to right now, pause the video, go listen to that song. You'll understand. Like
Rebirth.
it's so good.
Isn't it? What's it called? What's it called? Rebirth. And
2016.
2016. Yeah.
It's a good song because like it's literally just like it's he talks and you're just getting like you just basically like, the whole thing is like you have control of your life. You have control of what you want to do with your life. Like do what you want to do and don't let anything hold you back. You know
Exactly.
like. As long as you pay attention to what you're doing, that's the first lines of the song. Like everything you need is right here. You know, like if you want it, you can go get it. It's right there in front of you. It's just like you have to be motivated and you have to go get it. What you want, you get.
Excuses are just gonna hold you back
Literally,
from that.
you don't need. If you have excuses, it's not gonna work. And that's why I kind of changed when I heard that song for the first time. I was like, having my excuse, I can be sad because this. No, not like but I'm not ever gonna use that as an excuse anymore.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna use it as motivation.
And with X, a lot of people view him or other rappers such as like Juice WRLD or Peep or whoever. They view them as I don't want to listen to that sad music. But for people that are sad, it helps you so much because it helps you feel understood.
It's a connection.
Yeah, it's a connection, and you feel understood, and you don't feel alone. And that's why with this podcast season I'm doing right now, I'm like, dang, every episode is sad. It's so sad. Like every episode I put out is hard to listen to because it's so sad. But the thing is that I know that it's gonna help people out there, and whether it's helping you now or whether it's gonna help you in the future, whether you go back and listen to this in 5 years, I'm just glad to get it out to the world because this is the type of stuff that helps you find comfort and get through this. So that's a banger song too. There's too many X songs. But yeah.
After that, though, that song really changed everything. Though that was good.
Yeah, I mean, you posted on your story like five times a day for like a month.
I did, and I made a TikTok with that song on it. Shout out Olivia. She made me a shirt that had the lyrics on it.
Hey,
I made a
for
picture.
real.
I made a picture, and she put on a shirt because it's dope.
Shout out Olivia.
That was my birthday.
Olivia
like
Haper, if you're watching,
3 years ago.
you're lit.
But yeah, that was really good. And also then like I realized like this kind of goes back though. Whenever I realized like how I'm turning into motivation, and I was at that point, probably a junior or a sophomore, I was like, who matured that fast to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Like I started feeling like everyone around me was. After the situation happened, I even then like I was like, people are not mature like at all. Like I feel like
low key.
I feel like that happening to us made us so mature so fast.
Yeah.
It made our
had
lives so different. Yeah, we had to grow up somewhat. It's like, it's sad, but we matured really fast out of it.
Yeah, and we know a lot of life lessons that a lot of people don't.
And sometimes it gets frustrating because people don't want to believe you when you say that, and you're like, dude, I've matured so much. I do know, like it's true.
Yeah, but I think you can even see it with the way me and you argue. Like when some brothers fight, they get mad about some little thing and like just actually hate each other for like 3 days. When me and Carson argue, it's like we're like joking.
Literally.
Like it's like all just hype because it's like fun and funny. We look at these little like problems. There's a few actual arguments we have, like whenever this dude will not wake up for wiffle ball every week of wiffle ball.
I make it there on time. I was doing some homework.
This is an argument we will have every week.
Yeah,
and that's okay. There's a few of those, but like just little things that we have. It's like, why don't you move your car? What you gonna do about it? We start arguing. We start fighting. We start like wrestling, and I don't know. We just don't get so mad.
We oversee the little problems now. Like, it's some little stuff. But the thing is, also with that, in other situations, and this is I'll get deep here, but like relationship wise, a lot. Like, there's also like so much overthinking that happens now. Like I've matured. And, like, realizing what's BS and what's not.
Yeah.
But I have got, like, serious, like, anxiety issues now with social things like that, I figured it out. Like, I've really started to figure out recently because...
What would you say it stems from?
I honestly think that's what it is. Like, I think, like, it seriously is from just that situation happening at such a young age. It kind of just threw us all off.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were all just, like... Our brain just did not know how to react, so they went insane. Like, they went crazy. Just made their own conclusions for anything.
And for me, it was like, I don't want to have a best friend anymore. Because I don't want to ever let anyone get that close to me again.
It's hard.
So it's like, I'll be my own best friend.
I think that's how I can describe myself easily. Because it's like, in a relationship, it's like, if you're going to get in a relationship, you have to let someone that close to you. Yeah. But then the whole time, it's like, you're kind of scared. Like, now someone's that close to you, like, what's going to happen next, you know?
I think something that's worked for me, if you're speaking on like relationships, like your girlfriend, you know. So for me and Macy, it's been like I've always kept myself true to who I am, and never let her be me. Like she doesn't consume all of me. I still am who I am, and I'm still like pushing forward. And if we didn't work out, I'd be okay because I would never have changed. I would have no like work to get back to who I used to be. I just keep being myself, and that actually is going to benefit you in your relationship, because if she actually loves you for who you are, you don't have to change. You don't gotta worry about it. And if you have to change for someone in a relationship, you're honestly wasting your time even being in there.
Like, there's a relationship change over time just from natural cause, but like if it's like someone physically changing you,
there's a difference between change and growth, though.
Yeah, that's
like you got to recognize when it's like, I said I was never gonna do this, and now I'm like doing this. You know, like this is who I wanted to be, and now I'm completely different, and it's because of this relationship. Or it's different saying like, oh, I've grown into a better person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
personally,
that's all it is right there.
You're trying to come at me right now. There's other reasons, but
I'm not coming out.
See,
he thinks I'm not calling you out.
I promise, guys, it's a good relationship.
No. I think you guys are good. I just anybody out there, like, you just gotta
what I'm saying is like, I'll tell the world right now. Habits have changed, but the habits have changed. So it's not like a bad thing though. Like it's not like it's not like
older. You know,
it's not from her. It's not from anybody. It's kind of just like as I grew up and I was like, okay, well, let's do this now. And then like no one really influenced it. Like it's not my. It wasn't someone changing me. It was myself just being all right.
We don't even got to get into that. Yeah. But I don't know. I just think that the situation definitely.
It definitely messed some stuff up.
Yeah, it made I literally don't want to have a best friend. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever had a best friend since Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few. I got Connor and Christian. I got Chad and Logan.
Like I have people that I consider like people that I have best friends. You know, like I have a bunch of guys that are like those are my guys.
No like actual brother anymore.
Yeah, but there's not.
Like we call Jack Fields our brother, and I wouldn't say that's not fair to say.
He definitely is.
But it's just like. No offense, Jack, but there's just like
you're not gonna be Kyle.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same feel because like with Kyle, it was literally like if he were to move in, it wouldn't feel like anything changed.
Yeah.
Jack, if you moved in, it would be lit, but it would feel like something changed.
Yeah. You know with Kyle, it'd have been like
oh yeah, like he's living here.
But hey, shout out Jack though.
Yeah, shout out Jack. Jack's lit.
Shout out Jack. Shout out Connor. Shout out Christian.
Yeah, all the boys.
Even Luke in a way.
Yeah. Luke's a brother, but he's just not that brother. You know, like nobody will be that way. That's
nobody's gonna. There's like an empty throne.
Yeah.
You know,
literally.
Like, and it can never be filled. It could have ones around it, you know, but there's never gonna be a Kyle again, and it sucks. But we just have to keep pushing through, and sitting on it and dwelling on it and using it as an excuse isn't gonna do anything. But doing stuff like what we're doing right now, making this podcast episode, hopefully this episode like spoke to you all in a way, hearing our story, because like we talked about, we're just mature now. Like we see a lot of things differently.
We understand what's going on,
but it doesn't take losing your best friend to suicide to do that. You could hear a story like this.
I wish it didn't take that.
Yeah, like literally. Oh man, literally. I wish I would have woken up before, because then I would have treated our friendship with him so much differently. But I didn't, and that's what it is. But for anybody watching, please like take stories like this, take stories like you've heard this season, and make the change now in your own life, because literally, like, you can do it. You can totally do it.
It all depends when you decide to open your eyes, honestly. Like, you can live this, like, little kid life, and it was fun. It was fun for me to live, like, just, like, though nothing even
and
matters.
We still would have did it.
I still do it sometimes. But, like, whenever you open your eyes, like, to what is real and what is not. Like, I don't even know examples right now, but, like, when you realize what is real and what is just, like,
not a big deal.
It's fake stuff. Like, personally, when I think about it, I thought about like, I do drink, but like, whenever I do, I know it's not like that can't be something that's like a trait now, because like it's not real. Whenever you do that and the way you feel, you have fun and you do all this, but it's not like, I'm not saying you're not happy, but it's like it's not real happy. Like you're kind of just like, you're lit, but it's like because you did this.
And and in our terms, I would say that, thinking back for me, it's like winning a Wiffle Ball World Series is not better than the moments we spent playing Hot Wheels in the basement. It was lit for sure, but
winning a World Series it's like, that's a big accomplishment, but it's not like, it wasn't like, it's not like losing a game is the same. Like if we win the World Series or we lost in the playoffs, it's like, you'll feel different, but it's like it's the same thing.
But 5-10 years from now, you're gonna look back and
spending time with your friends. Like,
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
Because now looking back on it, when me and Kyle lost us, we blew a lead in spring training, I was really mad. Like, I was really mad. We got a grand slamming off us. I remember I was really mad, but now I look back and I was like, okay, well, I got to spend a fun loss with Kyle.
Exactly.
We got destroyed, and it was fun. Like, it was actually pretty fun.
Literally, and I don't know, man. That's something I was always, when we would practice after school every day, we were practicing because my mind was, we got to win the World Series.
If we don't win the World Series, there's nothing more.
Yeah, we got to win games. We got to do this. That was my mind when we were practicing. But I wish I could go back and be like, we're playing wiffle ball with Kyle.
Fun.
That's lit.
Yeah.
And I would give to do that one more time. Like, and that's something that is just so like important, to just be in the moment, be there, and take it all in, because you literally don't know when life can change forever. So you have to, dude. I mean, it's forever. Like, that's something that also hurts. It's like, dang, I could go accomplish whatever I want to accomplish in life, but it's not going to change that he's gone, you know. And that's what hurts. Is, like, that's what hurts a lot.
That I'm not gonna say it's like I don't have a fact, but like, you know, that decision that maybe took him 10 minutes to make had changed not only years ahead of him, it changed lifetimes ahead of me, Foster, Conlon, anyone in Raintree, anyone of his family members. There are so many people that just, their life changed from that 10 minutes of, should this happen, should it not, and like, oh, this is how I feel right now.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, man. It's so sad. It's the worst. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. There's no words to even like describe.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if he never did that, our lives would look a lot different. I guarantee you, I would not be having a podcast right now, especially not over mental health.
Yeah, the thing is,
especially not over that.
That's I will never. You'll never hear me saying that I'm happy that happened, because no one would be.
Yeah.
You know? But like, the outcome of it now, even though I'm mentally, I have different problems now, like,
which are bound to happen regardless.
Like, you know, it just happens sooner, I feel like having the bad anxiety, which I had never had before, and having overthinking issues and all that stuff, it's obviously something I would never want, but what God gave me, I'm grateful for. You know, like,
exactly.
If that never happened to me, I would have never been who I am now. And a lot of people know this. I really love who I am now. So
yeah,
I really do.
Narcissist. I'm playing.
Yeah, people call me a narcissist. Like, I love myself.
There was a time you will even.
I know I had a big ego. I still do.
He had a point.
You know the drill.
He had a point where I was like, bro,
it was big. It was there.
That was part. I was like, dude, you can't get on the podcast until you get over that.
Yeah.
And he has. So good job.
I had senior year really gave me one there. I had played
it happens,
like
man.
that.
When you're the king of the
these
school.
things right here, the prom, and that's chilling, working out every day.
Yeah, prom king was the worst thing to ever happen to. I'm playing.
Literally, dude. Oh man, not even getting.
Carson wins prom king and thinks he's the absolute man.
It was not like that though, because I realized it's like a high school thing, like a award, like who cares? But it's like at the same time, I was like, damn.
It's kind of.
It's
kind of cool though.
Yeah, it's dope.
Cause I don't know. I don't know, man. Because I feel like before the Kyle thing, especially for me, I was not really like no one really thought of me. But then after the way we responded to it, is like when I put out those tribute videos, people are like, "Oh, this guy's really doing something."
No, it's like the way I thought of it was in that situation. I thought just people thought I was a good person, so I was like, okay, well, I just won because I've been a good person. Might be a little,
But yeah, I don't know, man.
But it was a good thing to happen. But yeah, like I'm glad I won it because it was all. I like I said, like I'm living for Kyle now, so he got to he got to live through that one.
He got to live through. Yeah,
he got to win prom king. He got to be with it.
Exactly.
So it's like, there we go. Now what's next? Like, he gets to live through the gym stage. He gets to live through. He got to live through the narcissist stage. That was lit.
No, that was not lit.
For some people. Okay, but
But
now we're here.
but like just that's so true. It motivates me every day to do more because I literally feel like he's living through life with me.
Yeah, literally.
So it's like, dang, I get to go stand on top of a 11-story abandoned building. He's right here with us.
Oh,
Like, and we might not.
That's bad for me. I was dangling off that 11th story. I was just sitting there on the edge.
Yeah, but we might not make it public anymore as much, but we know deep down like he's still living through us. Like I put out the last ever Kyle tribute video, which was tough. I mean, that was tough. Those tribute videos have been like my project to keep his name living on, but nowadays it's like he's still going to be living on through the way we live our life because we're going to know it. It doesn't have to be public anymore. Like, everyone got to know Kyle through those videos.
And
people that never knew him. Yeah, people that never knew him got to know him now.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's touched so many people now. Like, honestly.
But it's like now it's time for me to like live my life for me with him behind and like pushing. And I think you're the same way. And I just think we're at a good spot.
With what happened, I think I cried for all the tribute videos, but I've never cried that bad. That last one was tough.
I really made sure because that last song I've saved. I've never put it in a video because F that song, bro.
I know, screw that song.
F that song, but I had to put it in.
Whoever made that video in 8th grade, that song, I hate you.
It's called The Night We Met. Like
someone made it. If you are watching this and you made that video,
someone made a video.
It was like, okay, so everyone had posted on their stories with the words. Someone took a screenshot of all the stories, put a video together
with the song,
put that song in it. And I remember the first time I saw it, I watched 2 of them. And I started crying so bad I never watched it again. And then I watched it
because that song is so sad.
I watched it I'm serious, a year later. I watched it for the first time, 2 seconds, turned it off, I was bawling, put it away for a year. And then I watched it. And I still cried the worst.
But with that song, anytime it comes on like shuffle, we're like skip.
Literally.
Like don't play that.
Do not play that one.
I'll listen to it when I'm alone, like once every like 10 months.
Yeah,
but
like I will that song alone maybe twice a year. I can't.
The song "The Night We Met" is just so emotional, and I was like, I had that planned out to end off the series that way for like 4 years, and it finally came.
It came along. That's so sad, dude. That song sucks.
All right, the camera shut off, and when it shut off, I looked over and saw we are at 57 minutes.
I did not know that. I thought we were at 25. But
hey, this is the thing. Like, this is another reason I was like not ever rushing to get Carson on because I'm like, dude, someday, someday this is just gonna be. Probably you're gonna be one of the rotational guests to have on.
Someday y'all are gonna turn on the
how to talk with a little less of a mumble. You know,
hey, I will. But once y'all, I'll talk
sophisticated.
Once you guys all start listening to Underwater FlyZone podcasts in like season 6, you're gonna hear my voice to start it off. Like I might be in this as like a rotational speaker.
Literally. Well, since it's so long, I'll give a little sneak peek to the future of this podcast. I think that it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna always like I'm always gonna be like the guy running behind the scenes, editing, making the shirts or whatever. But there might be a time where I'm like, hey Carson, I got this dude that needs to get interviewed. Will you just record for me? And it's gonna be like Carson and like some guy and like making an episode. You know, I think it's gonna get to that someday. Or Morgan Houston, I've talked to her and she's down to do that too.
She'd be dope to do it too. That'd be dope.
Like if I'm just like, hey Morgan, can you like go do this interview for me? Like I think it's gonna get to that point eventually because this is not, I've never wanted this to be my thing. This isn't about me. This is a movement of positivity. And I might be the guy doing the editing and been making the episodes, but this is so much more. This is not my thing. I'm not here to like profit and make this like. I would love to make this my full-time job, but
it's kind of like church. Like you want to hear Phil all the time, but like when Chad comes in, that's dope.
Chad's
like,
fire.
I want to hear that too. Like that's why one day you guys will be hearing Foster's perspective all the time. Then you're gonna hear mine.
Yep.
It's gonna be like you're gonna hear a lot of different stuff. Same topics, like same positivity moving forward, but like let's do different perspectives on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm excited for the future. Thank y'all for rocking with us for almost an hour. That's insane. But
one more thing to say.
One more thing to say. Let's hear it. I forgot to give you freestyle time because it's so freaking long.
Yeah, that's a long time. But here's my I'll give a piece of advice in my life. Is what I thought. I guess.
All right.
I would say the biggest thing would be, first off, to always be yourself no matter what you're doing. And this goes all the way to what I'm saying, because whenever you're being yourself, you can go on these rocky roads. Whenever you're being yourself, there's people that hate it. There's people that don't like you for who you are, and that's bad. But there's never a time when you being yourself will not find somebody. If you are yourself, it will attract. There will be people that are like you, and you can think that no matter what, because I think there'd be no one like me. Like if I was being myself, there'd be no one that's like that. But just eventually, as you start getting into it, I'm kind of being myself now. A few friends come along, and you're like, I'm really being myself more and more. As long as you keep being yourself, everything will come to you. It's like you dictate how your life ends up. You have everything in your power. Like everything is right here in front of you. As long as you are being yourself and you want to go get it, you can. It's like that's all to it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And my last thing is never give up on your goals. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up in general, because, like I said, everything you need is right in front of you. There's bad days. There's days where you think, nothing's going for me. But like Foster and me always say, and my dad says, if you're at the rock bottom, you can't even go any farther down. Like, it only goes up. So it's like,
there's only one direction.
When you're stuck here and you're like, dude, my dreams will never work out. And like, everything's going wrong. Okay, well then nothing can go more wrong. Like, everything can just go right now.
Facts.
Like, it can't get worse. Like, it can get better, or it can stay that way for longer. And then it'll get better. Like, it doesn't... If you keep pushing through and you don't give up, one day you're going to be, here's your little level, here's your middle. You're on the rock bottom. One day you'll be right about here again. Right
Literally, bro.
Because you aren't supposed to be even either. Because people usually float about right above the water in a good, happy level. That's where you want to be.
Yep.
Because not all the time, you can't always be here. Because then your life is just going to be like, too much. Like, then only things that can happen is bad. Like, just as it goes for rock bottom, you can't, whatever goes way too high always has to come down eventually. Like, it's
for sure.
And that's not like to mean in a bad way. Like, this is the same thing. You just don't want to. You don't want to be chasing something that's like perfection, because nothing's perfection.
What goes down must come up.
What goes up must come down. What goes down has no other way to go.
Yeah, literally.
But what I'm saying is, it's like, don't chase perfection, because nothing in this world is perfect. Because everyone's their own type of perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, be happy with who you are, and you'll have everything come to you. Basically,
that message of be yourself is always going to be...
That's the biggest one.
It's the biggest... And it's so clear. People hear be yourself and they're like, okay. But you got to, like, understand what you're saying.
Because if you're not being yourself, then who are you going to...
You're going to be
Jay
loved...
Bird said it, bro. What did he say? He said, if you're not being yourself, then
how are you going to find somebody that loves you for you?
Yeah,
bro, listen to this. Listen to this. You're going to be loved and hated regardless of who you are. There's always people out there that's going to not like you. You're never going to be liked by everyone. And there's going to be people out there that do like you. You're never going to be disliked by everyone.
If I'm sitting here, I see a group of people, I'm like, dang, I kind of want to be like them. I want to fit in. And I go fit in. They might like me for who I'm not. And there's going to be people who hate who I'm not because I'm acting like that. And then if I was just, like, you're going to have hate regardless. So if you just be yourself, people will come around you that you like because they're literally yourself. And then there's the people that hate you for being yourself. And it's like, okay, well, I'm being myself. Who cares?
That's why I deal with hate so easily now, because I'm like, bro, I'm 100% okay if you dislike me, because I know I truly am who I am. So it's like, if you don't like me, I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. Like, it's okay. Yeah, like, I don't...
brush off all the hate. Like I said last episode, shout out Kev, I love your hair. Don't let people hate on it. Foster, just cut your hair, bro. just cut it.
Carson doesn't like the hair.
Foster can be himself, but just it's got to come off, bro. But hey, if y'all,
that goes back to this whole thing, though.
If y'all listen to me, if you are my friend and you have some cool hair and someone disses on you, I'll fight. And there's proof of it.
I hope y'all watched up to that point, because Carson was really about to fight that man at that tailgate.
For real.
But yeah, like, you are gonna be disliked regardless. You're gonna be liked regardless. So wouldn't you rather be loved for who you are rather than someone you're not? Because it gets hard when you're being someone you're not too, because you might slip up.
Yeah, you might slip up and be yourself. Like,
and they're like, oh, wait a second.
Oh, he's not real. He ain't like that.
All right, we are currently at an hour and almost 4 minutes, so we're gonna wrap this up. Season 3 merch, the samples are in.
Carson's getting them tonight. Actually,
he's getting them tonight, so I'm excited to release them. I hope they sell well. But the goal is 200. So if you've been rocking with us this season, please cop a shirt. I had to increase the price of the shirt by $3.
Hey, don't even worry about the price, because you know how the quality is. It's lit.
For sure. I
wear stuff all the time, I'll tell you.
Yeah, hey, people love that season 2 merch.
It's the same with season 1. Like, I like them both. It's worth the price.
Shout out
Ty. Just kidding, I got it for free. But it's worth it, I promise. I would pay it back. I would do it right now.
All right, let's do it then. I'm playing.
Damn.
All right, hey, I love you guys. Thanks for watching episode 7. Hope you loved all hour and 4 minutes of it.
If you're still here,
UNG.
tell me if I should shave or not.
Don't. I'm saying don't. Grow it out, bro. Get
Hey.
your beard looking like my head.
Like and comment. You know the drill, boys.
Like and comment. I'm gonna be changing the YouTube channel name pretty soon, I think, to Underwater FlyZone instead of my name. If you have any advice on if I should do that or not, drop it in the comments.
If I see any comments about anything we're talking about in the last 20 minutes,
I love you.
Yeah,
I will do. I will buy you lunch if you're still watching.
We'll go
Watch this go viral and I have to buy like 1 million people lunch. All right. Hey, love you guys. I'll see you later, man.
Yo. Dang, that's crazy.
That was dope.
That didn't seem like it was that long.
Hey. Like and subscribe. Cop the merch when it drops. I still got some black and gray available. Oh my gosh. Black and gray merch still available, but
Some gray.
the gray's gonna be $20 though.
Like this?
Bro, that was a long one. Sheesh. Almost an hour and 5 minutes. Longest of the season.